AntiChamber-game.com. Primarily being a student, and then because of making these prototypes between 2006 2007, I got into industry, and I worked in industry in Australia for over a year full time, and by that stage I no longer really needed my degree. I already had jobs lined up after it, but I went back to finish it anyway, and during the final year I just started drawing everything together into a full game, and once that started going places I didn't really need industry anymore, so the last 2 years has just been me finishing this full time. AntiChamber is a game that goes back to a bunch of prototypes that I was making in 2006 to do with geometry and space, and it's a very long story, but this game started off as me trying to make Snake, like the Nokia phone game, and through a series of accidents I came up with something much more interesting than that, being this geometry system where I could do whatever I wanted, and in trying to work out why you would want that in games, and all of these experiments that I was doing, I ended up with a game that was about breaking expectations on a massive scale, which involved, geometry, space, illusions, perceptions, but the overall mechanic behind the game is expectations and psychology. This game really started to shine after a trip to Japan, where I was thrown into this completely unfamiliar space, and I had to just try and work out how I could navigate it, what everything was. I wasn't really trying to get anywhere. It was just fascinating to walk outside a hotel room, pick a direction, and just walk down there and see what kinds of wonderful things I could find. Can I just restart this? This is Unreal Engine 3, so the UDK, and I made that decision because all of the prototypes I was doing were being done, back in 2006, 2008, 2009, and I had this as an Unreal Tournament 3 mod at one stage, which I entered into to make something Unreal, and I was one of the winners in that, so when the UDK was announced, it was a fairly natural fit to just take this Unreal Tournament 3 game and just make it its own standalone thing. 90% of it is me, but I do have contractors to do sound design, composition. I'll get someone to do some modeling work in a couple of cases. I'll get someone to do some illustration, someone to fix the typography. Basically, as the standard of the game continues to rise, different things start to sort of stand out as needing work, so you hire people to do them if I can't get them up to scratch myself. It'll be on PC, Mac. I'm not aiming for consoles at launch because finishing the game is hard enough. As for when, at the end of the day it's when it's done, but my current goal is to have it finished by PAX East. I'd like to go to a big event after 2 years of not having it done and finally be able to say, now you can have it now, it's on these platforms.
IndieGameReviewer.com